Welcome back to the show. If you're a baseball purist, you love the game for what it is. It is a beautiful sport. And in recent years, we've seen rule changes that have been implemented to help speed up the game. First and foremost, they want to improve scoring, increase action on the field. And there has been some success in doing that. It was 2023 when Major League Baseball adopted the pitch clock. They also had, imposed some additional limits on defensive shifts, larger bases. But really, the pitch clock was the biggest one for me. And I want to bring in Ben Frakes. He's a journalism student from Michigan State University. And Ben, you had a chance to talk with Steve Domzalski. And Steve spent several years working at the collegiate level at Wayne State before going on to work in the major leagues with the Marlins. What's your connection with Steve?
He was my baseball coach in Little League. We've had a relationship for a very long time, and he's such a great guy. So I've got to know him for a really long time, and the knowledge that he brings to the game is just really impressive.
And what'd you find out?
He actually has a really different perspective than a lot of us do. We all have opinions about these new rules, some good, some bad, but he looks at it from a different way because he's an athletic trainer and he's talking to these guys all the time about how they're feeling. And some of these new rules have really changed the way that they play the game. And this really can affect their health.
Yeah, I think that's the fascinating part about it for me. Again, getting a medical perspective on it. Again, you try to implement rules to try to make the game more attractive to a larger audience, but with respect to the players involved, how does it impact them on a personal level? So here's Ben Frakes and his sit-down conversation with Steve Domzalski of the Miami Marlins.
I'm here with Steve Domzalski, athletic trainer for the Miami Marlins. Thank you for being here today.
No problem. My pleasure.
So today I'd love to discuss some of the recent rule changes in baseball. It's been such a big topic of discussion recently. There's been so many new rules implemented to the game recently, most significantly in 2023. And I'd say the pitch clock would probably be the most significant. How have you felt about that? Do you think reducing the length of the game has been a successful move for the sport?
I think that it has been. I think that some of the intricacies of baseball have gotten out of hand, some of the mind games and some of the rest. My role in professional baseball is in the medical setting. So it actually is it's a double-edged sword because the way baseball is moving right now, particularly with pitching, I'm an athletic trainer and a physical therapist, and probably 75% of the guys I work with are pitchers. And right now, bigger, faster, stronger has never been more a part of the game than it is now. There's more guys throwing 100 miles an hour than there ever has been in the history of baseball. There's more technology that's helping these guys throw as hard as they can than ever. But there's also more surgeries being performed now than ever, which is kind of funny since medical technology has come so far. So are the rule changes due to that? If you're rushing someone to throw at a faster pace than they usually would, and they have less time to rest in between pitches, and they're throwing the ball harder than they ever have in their life, obviously some fatigue is going to set in sooner. Another rule change in baseball that's been implemented to try to provide more offense is the absence of any sort of tactile substance on the baseball. No more spider tack or pine tar, or the guys always try to get creative with mixtures of rosin and sunscreen and whatever just to have a better grip on the ball. And what happens if the pitchers can have a better grip on the ball is they can spin the ball at a faster rate, creating more movement on the ball when they throw it. When they take that away from these guys, the only thing they have to be able to grip the ball tighter is to be able to use the muscles in their arm to squeeze the ball tighter, which results in a lot more stress on their elbow, therefore more injuries. Now, kind of getting off topic because that's everything I look at is through a medical lens. Speeding the game up is always going to be good. I think baseball is fighting against a lot of history, and the age of the average baseball fan continues to go up, and they're doing whatever they can to get young people to like baseball again. It's a unique sport, so I think that, there's good and bad to it. Everything in life is speeding up.
That's why I think it's been such a big deal as of recent, because numbers have been going down and average age has been going up of the viewers. But speaking of the new rules, the automatic ball strike system is getting closer and closer to reaching the Major League Baseball level. I'd love to know if you've gotten any feedback from the players about this, and do you have a general sense if it's going to be used soon?
It's coming. There's no doubt about it. It's coming. I spent last year working in AAA baseball, and the system was 100% in full effect. When I first witnessed it being used in games, I was skeptical. But after a full season of witnessing it, I thought it was good for the game. It didn't really slow things down too much. The nature of the challenge has to be immediate. If a player is going to challenge a ball or a strike, they have literally like 2 or 3 seconds to do it. If they don't, then they've lost their opportunity. And the fact that they have a limited number of challenges, they're going to be pretty guarded about when in the game they use them. And then the technology is pretty quick. So I've found that it does not really hinder the pace of the game. And I think, like any other sport, baseball is really trying hard to implement technology. I think the automated ball strike system is another way to get fans into the game. They kind of get into it. So it's become, it's on its way. I would say in the next couple of years, it'll be in the major leagues.
So you've seen the fans actually enjoy that process, get into it when they're putting it up on the screen?
It's twofold effect that it had for me was that the fans really got into it. They'll scream for something to be challenged if they think it should be challenged, and then they'll react emotionally to a challenge being right or wrong. It's definitely another layer that's added into the drama of things.
As an athletic trainer, I'm sure, as you've mentioned, you're always looking out for players' health and their safety. And in some college baseball conferences, we've actually seen the safety base at first base be implemented into the game to avoid collisions at first base. And I'm wondering if you think it'll ever come to the major league level.
I think that I would be surprised if it came to the major league level. I think that they're very slow to make major changes in baseball. At the college level, they can get away with it more. I don't think it's really becoming a big enough issue in pro baseball to be something that is totally necessary to be implemented. A lot of people forget that the baseline or the base path itself is a lane that the runner has to stay in. So if they do a better job of implementing, where the runner is supposed to be, it should be really not a big deal, in my own personal opinion.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, and anytime I can help out, let me know.
You're listening to Michigan State student Ben Frakes speaking with Steve Domzalski, who works in Major League Baseball. Again, one of the things that was covered there, which I thought was interesting, and we'll see how it all plays out, is the ABS challenge system. It's automated balls and strikes. And Justin Verlander, obviously former Tiger, 5-time Cy Young Award winner, he says he thinks that it's just a matter of time before it's implemented in Major League Baseball. And we'll see. Obviously, we saw it rolled out in spurts throughout spring training this spring training. And again, the reaction from players, managers, it's an adjustment. It's going to take some time getting used to. And obviously that stuff doesn't happen overnight, but we see it in every other sport, instant replays. If you've watched any of college basketball, where you go to the replay monitors, you want to get it right. And baseball wants to get it right. And again, for baseball purists like some of us, the human error has been part of the game. But you do want to get the calls right in big moments. They obviously do have instant replay already in baseball, but ABS, the automated balls and strikes, could be coming to the game in the near future. Still to come here on Open Mic on WJR, we'll hear from longtime media personality Mike Stone from 97.1. Straight ahead.